Now, folks, the Melbourne Storm have given an update on Eli Katoa. Melbourne Storm can confirm that Eli Katoa has returned safely home to Melbourne from Auckland. Eli has been under the care of specialists at a Melbourne hospital, where he's undergone further testing and assessment. Storm CEO Justin Rodsky said Katoa has been released from hospital and will continue his recovery from home. Eli's health and well-being remain our number one priority. It is great to have him home safely and under the care of our club doctor and local specialists. He's improving each day and looking forward to continuing his rehabilitation from home. In consultation with our doctor and neuro specialists, Eli will not return to training this pre-season and won't be available for the 2026 season. Gee, that's sad. It's pleasing that it sounds like he's on the improve, but to be missing a whole season, clearly there's a lot of work to be done. And thoughts and prayers all with Eli Katoa and his recovery, because it's very, very sad. Right?
And well done on the Storm. Well done on the Storm, not pushing him. I know, like, this day and age, we know all the... We're going to be speaking to Natty Wood shortly.
Yep.
It's just a shame. We thought this would be the case, like a year. Hopefully, for Eli's... in Eli's case, it's only the 12 months.
Yep.
But it'd be a shame because he's such a damaging player.
Oh, what a player. But, I mean, health above all that,
I
of course.
understand.
Now, Brian, we do have the great Natty Wood in studio. This is a bloke who 115 NRL games, then went to England to play for Wakefield and Warrington. He was a challenger on Gladiators in 2008. He's done it all. He's done it all, this bloke. Grown up with rugby league. It's been a part of his life, really. He and Garthy's brother. But, Brian... I didn't know this, that Trevor Long, the resident tech expert, has got some opposition. What happened?
First of all, welcome, Nathan Wood.
Thanks, Fletch.
So
Thanks,
Natty's got these glasses that you put, and this is the future. They're Ray-Ban, and you just said, Meta, what am I looking at? Yeah. And it just explained what I was looking at. Why do you have these?
My missus Tammy gave me these as a birthday present or a Christmas present. Can't remember. Just to wear down I work on the ferries. And you're not allowed to have earpieces in whilst you're at work, so if I'm listening to music or anything, it's a bit of a smother for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Shout out to all the ferry union.
It was a smother.
It was a smother.
I like this one. Before we get into it, hey, Bearsy, can you give me a... Oh, no. Hey, guys, can you ask if Nat Wood, if he still sings opera songs? I remember he sang opera on the footy show all those years ago. I do remember this. Do you still doing that?
I haven't done it for ages. I did that... What was it? Oh, that was a Triple M karaoke or something. You had to get a player from each side or players from each side to sing karaoke. And I got a phone call from someone at the club when we were at the Roosters, and they said, "Oh, Natty, we want you to sing on Triple M." I said, "What for?" And they go, "It's a footy karaoke. You got to represent the Roosters. Someone will ring you." And I said, "Okay." And then I thought it was a G-up, and then someone from Triple M rang me, and they go, "Oh, mate, will you go on it?" I said, "Yeah, I'll go on it." And they said, "Oh, we heard you can sing a bit of opera," because they used to just muck around sing opera in the showers with the boys. And I thought it was a G-up. I go, "Oh, yeah." I said, "Well, if I'm going to sing opera, what do you want me to sing?" They said, "Oh, you'll be backed by the Sydney Philharmonic Orchestra." I was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah." So I said, "Oh, I'll sing Figaro." Right, the Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah.
And they said, "Are you going to really sing that?" I said, "Yes." I went to Brash's. Remember Brash's?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Not Tim's house.
No, Tim. So not to Brash's house. I went to Brash's and looked for a CD because I didn't know the song. And I got the CD. I think it was the Hounds of Baskerville, or something it was called. Went home and I wrote it all out. It's in Italian. And I wrote it all out in syllables. And I went into the studio with, what's the chick's name? And Andrew Denton and
was it...
Oh, yes. Beyond 2000.
Amanda Keller.
Amanda Keller, yeah. Yes. I went in there and they're like, they go, "Are you really going to sing this?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they go, it's in Italian. Can you speak Italian? I said, "No, I wrote it down like this," and I had all the syllables, and they were like, "No way." And then I sang it. And I won it. I won it. Yeah, I won it. What? I won it. Then they got me on the footy show to sing it with you and Benny, remember?
I mean, you're a man of many talents. Now, I often rue the fact, like sliding doors moment, you think this would have been a good idea.
Yeah.
Natty, you remember it was a stage show. It went global. It's actually, they got residency in Vegas, Puppetry the Penis. Oh. So Nat was doing this way before them. Do you often feel that we should have gone into business together?
Yeah. Do you remember we do it in the showers in front of the boys?
No.
They're all cheering that.
I remember we did it in front of the referee. Have I told you a story? So we're up at Atherton, and we're having a trial up there. And Natty was the Phantom. That was his stage name. Phantom, come outside.
The Phantom, I'd do it at train. I put a plastic bag over my head with some Ray-Bans and nothing
You
else.
love the Ray-Bans. Anyway, he came out and it was in front of Eddie Ward and all the refs because the refs were staying in the same hotel. Anyway, so we thought he was unrecognisable. I said, righto, ladies and gentlemen, the Phantom. And I was still, there's a wristwatch. Phantom, do this, da-da-da. Anyway, we all laughed.
The
It was
Hills
all,
Hoist,
it was
the
all,
Knuckle
yeah, the Hills
Dusters.
Hoist. It was all done.
28, the repertoire. Huh? The windsurfer.
And we thought we got away with it. First game, we're playing, I think it might have been Illawarra at the stadium. And, the referee was Eddie Ward. And Nat was constantly getting offside. And Eddie Ward's going, number 7, make sure you get onside. Number 7, you're offside. Anyway, he'd had enough. And he went, Phantom, get onside. Oh, they were good times. Anyway, now, Natty, the reason you're in here is you've got the punch box challenge, hitbox challenge.
Fundraiser.
Do you want to tell us, first of all, what it is? Mm-hmm. And then, second of all, why we're doing it?
I might lead in with why we're doing it.
Let's do why first.
Yeah, we'll do it. So, about 18 months ago, I was diagnosed with pretty poor CTE diagnosis, which I've kept pretty dark. And the only reason I found out about it is because a mate of mine that I played with in the UK, called Nick Fozzard. I saw him on Facebook copping a bit of a bag and from the press and from the supporters and that in England. I just touched base with him and said, mate, what's going on? Obviously, I read the post. He's like, I got a really bad report on all my findings and my X-rays and everything, my MRIs and that. I got a bad report and I've posted it and I'm getting a bit of backlash.
Why is he getting a bad rap?
Well, I think he's just getting a bad rap because it's possibly going to ruin the game.
Right.
And the supporters are pretty fickle over there.
Right.
They're good and they can be bad. So he was just getting a roasting, and I was just ringing for giving a bit of support and see he was all right. And he's like, Natty, I said to him, mate, what are the symptoms? And he told me. I go, mate, I've had that for ages. And he's like, oh, you should get tested. I was like, oh, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
And he's like, you got to know. And I said, why? Because there's no cure for it, well, not yet anyway. Or anything.
So when you said you didn't want to know, it's just something in you. You go, look, I'd rather just go on with life without worrying about it.
I knew that there was things going on with me that weren't normal, but I just kept it dark, and as you do. And I said to him, I don't want to know. And then he was like, mate, you got to know because, if there is, there's possibly medications you can use or stuff that you do to slow it down. And blah, blah. So I ended up getting all these tests done. I got a pretty poor result in a lot of things. I think in my scans, I got 133 scans, 108 of them are abnormal.
Right.
And if you look back through my career, let's say I played grade from 18, my first really bad concussion, I went home, went to sleep and lost my eyesight.
Yeah.
I was in intensive care for 2 days, completely blind. And then I had to have a year off footy, start from scratch and come back. So that was probably my first real bad concussion. And that was in under 21s for South. And then, let's say once I come back, I had to start fresh because South, I didn't get a start at South then. I was at South when it happened. Then I went to the Tigers and just started from scratch there. And in that period of time, let's say from 20 or 19 years till 35 when I retired from footy, I probably got knocked out twice a season,
Twice a season?
I'd say twice a
So
season.
what, are you thinking high 30s?
Possibly, yeah. On average, I'd be knocked out twice a season. I probably tried to play above my weight.
Yeah.
And, the chances of of coming through that unscathed are pretty much zero. And so, when I found out, got the report, I've just kept it dark, haven't told many people. My brother, he's no doubt got CTE and stuff like that. My dad's suffering from Parkinson's and whatnot now. So there's 3 generations of footballers there. We've all had our fair share of knocks, and we're all got signs or have these CTE diagnosis. Well, my dad hasn't been tested, and neither has my brother, but he can't remember the 500 I let him yesterday. And I can't remember the 500 he let me 2 weeks ago, so we're all square.
Did you though, Nat, like what are the symptoms? Because growing up, I've known you a long time, you're very quick-witted and life of the party. What are some of the symptoms now? Are you slowing down a little? Forgetful?
Yeah, that's the thing. For me, it's more... And this is where I become a bit of a antisocial because you can feel yourself struggling to find words, like just everyday things you might be talking about meta glasses.
Hang on,
I'll just go,
Gordon Tallis goes through that every day. He's fine. He's got a job on
sure he
TV.
does. I could probably wing it. You know? But yeah, I just find myself struggling to hold conversations where normally I just, do it. But there are little things like that and things that my wife could probably tell you more, that you notice little things happening. So I sort of, just in the last 2 years since I got that diagnosis, I've just sort of isolated myself a bit. And it puts you in a bad place yourself. You know what I mean? So I just was trying to figure out ways to. I've had a couple of injuries at work, and luckily for me, the ferries really look after you. And I've had 2 surgeries, and I was isolated in the house. 2 of the surgeries laid me up for quite a while. I got another one coming up. I've got a full ankle replacement on the 6th of December. So I'm, leading into it, the more I dwell on going back to scratch again and just being in the house, I'm thinking, what can I do? Something positive to
take
my mind off things, because I'm going to be laid up for 6 to 8 months again with an ankle replacement. So then I just thought, I'll do this punch and burpee challenge. But the reason I didn't, this is the funny part of it, I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to stress me dad out, who's suffering. Like, he's okay with his medications, but he's got Parkinson. I'm thinking, if I do this fundraiser, mum and dad are going to be aware of it. I don't want to stress dad out. How am I going to tell them? So for months I've been worried. How am I going to tell them? So last Sunday, I went to the house and thought, stuff it, I'll tell them. And I go over there and I got my little bloke Jagger with me, and it was my missus' birthday on the Monday. So I'm there talking, and mum and dad were in a real good mood, and so I didn't want to ruin the mood. It gets to about lunch, I'm thinking, so I had to go buy a cake for me. Missus bought the cake, I come back, put the cake in the fridge, they're all bubbling again. I was thinking, how do I spill it to them? So then I think I'll just tell me mum and she can spill the beans to me dad. So I go, Mum, we're going to go home. Can you grab the cake and come out the car? So she goes, yeah, sweet. So as we're walking out the car, I go, listen, I've got to tell you something, Mum. I'm all right, but I had the CTE scan and I got a bad report and da-da-da. She goes, are you serious? And I go, yeah. She goes, you told us this 8 months ago. I go, what? What did I tell you? She goes, you told me you went down for an MRI and this and that. I was like, far out. I said, I've been waiting for this for 8 months. She goes, don't worry about it. Go for your life. Do your best. So then I just promoted this this fundraiser, which is
what, Nat? What are we going to?
It's down with there's these guys called the Maroubra 400 Club.
Yeah, yes.
They're all bra boys. Great blokes that I grew up in football was the catalyst to me becoming mates with all these blokes. Mark Fisher and Damien Sonego blokes helped me here. So I promoted to them because they get a big group of blokes that I know. Jimmy Dimmick's down there. Jimmy Dimmick's also got suffering from it a bit too. So, we're down there. We're just doing it's a punch and burpee challenge. So you punch on the hip box for 30 seconds, you do burpees for 30 seconds, and then you punch again. So I just purchased a trip for 10 people on the houseboat on the Hawkesbury River and just put 800 cash up just to get it rolling. So I was just trying to raise $8,000. Just
for who? Who are we raising money
for? It's for the brain bank.
Oh, okay.
So which they're a part of who we're donating to. We've got a link to do it, but the boys down there have already raised nearly just over $4,000 for us. So it's been well received, and I thank the boys for what they're doing for me. But that's on Friday at 5:15 in the morning down at Maroubra.
This Friday?
This Friday.
And is it just a one-day thing?
No, it's not a one-day thing. We'll just run it over 8 weeks just to see how good a tally we can get together. Pardon me. How big the funds we can run.
Tell us about the hip box, because this is your little invention too.
Oh, the hip box is just something that for me, my training's always been my medicine. Me and my brother have just grown up, as you know, in our household. You could jig school as long as you were training. So we've just grown up boxing and training. So the hip box is just my little thing that I've created over about 10 years ago, and it's just evolved. That you put it on your wall. You can train with mates anywhere in the world. In a FaceTime situation, your stats.
You don't need those flashy glasses on, do you?
You don't need the flashy glasses on.
Well, we're at $5,000 now, Natty.
We're at $5,000 now.
I've just had a look at the link. It's support. We'll put it out, but it says support.neura.edu.au.
Yeah, so Neura is the governing body the foundation that they disperse the cash to each of their branches, and the Brain Bank is who I've nominated and said to them, look, can you send the cash to them? So they've been pretty supportive. You just have to get a link, so it's all official.
Well, we'll put that out. Yeah. Do you regret your career, Nat? Would you change anything?
I don't regret my career because it's been the best years of my life. As you know, you and I have done some mad things together and created great friendships. I don't regret my career, but I probably regret not not knowing exactly what damage was going to happen to me.
But no one knew.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
I don't know. I don't know if no one knew. I think
right.
things are coming out that in the NFL they've known for quite a while.
Right.
And so I don't know. I don't regret anything about my career. It was just unreal. The game's unreal, and the brotherhood and the mates that you make is unreal.
Maybe you wouldn't have flew off the line so hard.
I wouldn't have come out so hard. I would have
and punched people in the
wing.
face.
I would have played on the wing.
I'll tell you what, Natty. So, and Garth, yourself and myself would be similar heights, and I do think it's the running types, shorter blokes who probably cop more of the knocks.
Yeah.
And I copped a fair few myself, and it is something that concerns me, right? The CTE, and beyond that, I'm thinking surely that's then related to Parkinson's or, those type of illnesses, which does scare me a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's such a hard, like yourself though. I don't regret. I would do it all over again. It did so much for me, the game. So it's a really tricky one. But the big news, of course, the Melbourne Storm have just released this, Nat, along the lines of basically saying that Eli Katoa will be out for the whole of the 2026 season. It's very sad, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I was watching that game, and before it come on, they showed what had happened to him in the warm-up, and I was thinking, because I've suffered from so many concussions, I was thinking, surely they're not going to let this bloke go on the field. And then when he was on the field, I was thinking, wow. And then when he got those 2 head knocks, I kept watching him on the sideline. I was looking at the trainer talking to him, and you seen at one stage he mouthed the words, "I'm effed." And I was like, oh, and then next minute you see that Medicab there. So, man, Eli Katoa's got a big future and a long career ahead of him, but if I was him, knowing what we know today, you'd have to seriously consider,
Well, they're doing the right thing now. I suppose Melbourne still want to give him 12 months off. And Tamari Martin, I've spoken to this a couple of times. He had similar injury, and he was out, I think it was 2 years, maybe even 3 years before he made his comeback. So we are learning about it. But stuff like this, Natty, the 99 hitbox standing and punch and burpee challenge.
Standing 8.
Standing 8. Sorry, not 9. Standing 9. So we're up to $5,000. What do you want? Let's go.
Just trying to raise 8, but anything over that amount,
I think we can.
Will be fantastic.
We'll put this out here on our socials. So, Natty, well done.
Thanks, Fletch.
And good luck on the operation.
Thank you, brother.
Another operation.
And Natty, just before you go too, and this is not just, you don't have to play professional rugby league to have CTE concerns.
Not at all.
For anyone out there in rugby league, whatever the case may be, who may have been listening to this going, oh, maybe I should, what would you advise them to do, Natty?
Well, it depends on, I think the NRL have started doing things for the players, which they have to do. I'm Jimmy. I did mine through the Super League.
Yep.
Okay, so but I'm sure if you reach out to Dean, what's his name? Halatau.
Oh yeah.
With the NRL, I think they're doing something because look, I speak to a few players, and most of us are all suffering in one way or another. So look, and if you think you've had a few concussions and you think you're struggling, I'm not too sure. You can go through the brain bank or whoever.
Yeah.
But I'm
go
sure
and get tested.
Go get tested. Find out yourself. And look, unfortunately, they don't at the moment. They can't prove that you've got it until you've passed.
That's the way. Yeah.
So Fletch, I actually a few years ago now, I actually had concerns around this CTE and then into dementia and stuff like that. So it does worry me due to the number of concussions. So I actually, through the NRL, did a very intense half a day, which includes a brain scan, all these physical sort of tests, memory tests, all these sort of things. And I must be due to go back in, but they may test you every 3 years or so. It's the exact same test to see how you're holding up.
Right, to that level.
So have you been regressing?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a long enough time for you to have forgotten.
I had
the
that test.
Yeah.
It's quite daunting when you go in there because you think,
and
I'm
draining.
all right. You think I'm all right. And I went in there and the lady that did it, she dealt some cards out.
Yeah, all that.
And she told me a story.
Were you at the casino, no?
I was at the casino. And then she dealt more cards out and she was asking these questions.
Yeah.
And you start finding you're getting anxious and that. And then she says, okay, so tell me that story back. And I was like, I couldn't remember 2 lines. And she like, she sighed, and I was like, what are you sighing? Don't sigh. Then she goes, we'll do it again. Then she
she had the shits with you.
No, she had the shits, but she sighed. And I was thinking, are you signing for? And then she goes, okay, do you want to have another tip? And I stuffed it up again. And she
Hang
goes,
on, were you the Natty or the Phantom?
no, I was myself, and I go, she goes, you sure you can't remember any more of the story? I go, it's a shit story. I won't remember a shit story. She's like, oh. And I ended up getting out there. I was frustrated. But I remember that part of the test. I was thinking, I'd hate to go in and do that again. That was 18 months ago, so I hope they've changed the story.
Well, I went in there, Nat, trying to be, can I win this test? But it's not about winning the test. It's about you versus you, isn't it?
Yeah,
So-
and it's when you walk out of that test, you're sort of going far out, you know. And then that's after that test, it sort of put me into I just become a bit more. What's the word? I was worrying about things. I wasn't living
Paranoid,
in the now.
or-
I was not so paranoid because I've got
Anxious.
young kids. My youngest boy's 4, and I've got a 9-year-old, and my older boys are 27 and 30. You just start dwelling on my little boys aren't possibly going to have to see the best of me. You know what I mean? Well, they haven't seen the best of me, but you just get worried about that, and that's what sort of spins you into a bit of I don't like to say depression, but it just got me into a bit of a downer, you know, for quite a while.
And doing this, Nat.
Which is a good feel-good thing,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I talked to my wife about it, and she's like, you know, you should do, you know, if the Japanese say do something good for someone, it helps you. So I was just like, I'll have a crack at this before I go in for an operation, and then I can, forget it running for a while. It'll take my energy, you know.
Hey, Natty, this first segment in the hour, the latest we can possibly go is 18 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And we've actually taken you to 25.
Okay.
So, mate, that's
you.
how much we've enjoyed the conversation. Heaps of texts. That's how much they've enjoyed it as well. Natty Wood, we will promote the Fit Challenge as well.
99.
But
Yeah.
we have to break because the tourist is going to lynch us
All
very
good.
shortly. Natty Wood, thanks so
Thanks,
much,
Natty.
mate,
Cheers,
for
brother.
joining us, and all
Thanks,
the best.
Flash. Love you, mate.
You're still here? We'll see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio. Because if you don't, you're an A grade. But if you do, you're the absolute Mickey.